Perfect.
All right, so I'm going to briefly talk about the ThesCon field trip. And we are still working out the details because I haven't had a chance to call the bus company and reserve a bus and stuff like that. I'm going to get that all done the next couple of weeks, but I just wanted to give you the heads up as to what information we had and how this is all going to go. And then when we get the more information, we'll get it to you, certainly. The ThesCon is a field trip. We go to, this year it's February 3rd through 5th. And so we'll be out of school Thursday and Friday and come back on Saturday. And we'll talk about all that in a second. Okay. So there we go. So why do we go? ThesCon is 3 days of high school theater in Georgia. It's a lot of fun. I went 2 years ago when my daughter was a freshman, so I was a chaperone, and I saw countless numbers of plays and musicals and just like the best of the whole thespian community in Georgia. Is pretty cool. It features numerous productions presented by high schools throughout the state, and we are actually hoping that our one act gets to be one of those shows this year. This is the first time, I believe this is the first time we're actually trying to do that. Is that a lie? That is true. Okay. So, and besides going to all the shows, the kids get to go to workshops led by theater professionals from around the country. Actually, a friend of mine's daughter who she was a dance major, and she does work in the theater community in the Atlanta area, was one of the presenters 2 years ago. They can perform or view individual performance and tech events. There's audition for college scholarships, talk to college reps from around the country, shop with commercial vendors selling theater merchandise. That's always a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun stuff in that little merchandise hall. And then hang out with 4,000 other Georgia thespians. So, it's kids just like ours. It's like a whole group of them all together. It's kind of an interesting dynamic down there. I did not update the pictures. I'm sorry. So I do not have the 2 years ago picture on here, but lots of kids go. We have a lot of good time. We get a sweatshirt or a jacket or something, so we all can look alike, and it's a lot of fun. So here are the details. It is February 3rd through 5th, 2022 at Columbus State University. We will leave early Thursday morning via charter bus and return Saturday night, also via charter bus. We are going to be staying in the Home 2 Suites by Hilton in Columbus, Georgia, which includes a breakfast, which is very convenient for us. And the conference is an excused absence from school on those 2 days because it's a school activity. It's a field trip. However, students do have to make up all the missed assignments and missed tests and quizzes. And as a teacher in the building, I would encourage your kids to talk to their teachers before they leave, because, it's just a good thing to do that. So our thespian troop number 4448. I don't know why we have that number, but that's it. Our troop directors are Amy Koken, who is sitting here next to me, and Ryan Smith, who I believe is sitting there next to Mrs. Smith there. We just found this out today, that your student does not need to be inducted into the thespian troop prior to registration for ThesCon this year. I believe that's because a lot of schools didn't get to have seasons last year, so it was kind of hard to get points. But that is just for this year. But however, you need to be working towards it. And Amy and Ryan will be the ones that can help you figure out what your Thes points are. Are they called Thes points?
No.
Oh, I just made that. Okay. Well, anyways. And so Amy and Ryan will work with your students on that. So have your students contact them about that part of it. So estimated costs, like I said, these are estimated. We're working to finalize some things, but we're not sure about the bus yet, really. The costs include transportation, the hotel, meals, except lunch we provided lunch on the way down last time. So anyways, conference registration, Pope Thespian swag, and so that's what it does include. The meals are at the conference, and our kids tend to not want to eat at the conference, so just be aware of that. The rough estimate of costs and the time frame, we think it's going to cost about $400 per person to go. That includes the bus and the hotel and the meals and the registration. Our timeline for now is September 20th will be the forms are due, the first installment of costs, which will be $150. And then November 15th, the second payment will be due. And January 10th, the final payment will be due. And this is estimated, but I should be able to get this finalized in the next couple of weeks. So any costs, these are other things your kids might want to go to the vendor hall and buy some stuff. They might want to bring their own spending money for that. And if they want to eat at other places outside the conference, they have to pay for that too. And then that's about it for the costs. And we're trying to figure out what happens. Obviously, things are up and still a little bit crazy this year. So we're trying to figure out refunds and stuff like that if, God forbid, something were to go awry. And let's see, there we go. Confirmed chaperones. Nick Holman will be going. He's an English teacher at Pope High School, and I believe he's our thespian troupe person. Rachel Jones, obviously, our fearless director. I will be going, and Kristen Smith, who is our Booster Club president, will be going, and we need at least one more chaperone. We need one more chaperone. So think about if that's something you would want to do. It's not really that big of a deal. You get to go to shows, you get to chase kids around Columbus. It's really, I had a great time 2 years ago, honestly. I didn't want to go, and I went because I didn't want to send my freshman daughter without me, and she would have been fine without me, by the way. But that's why I went 2 years ago. And so now I'm in charge somehow. Okay. So that's what we have for information for you guys now. Are there any questions? And Kristen, do you have anything to add?
I was just going to say that, like Julie had said, we're hopefully and really looking forward to being able to go in person this year. And, like we said, we will do the best to update you with any sort of changes that could occur or might occur as soon as we know as well. And we're going to kind of take it, step by step. We do need 40 students to participate in order to keep the costs down. So for those of you that are attending the meeting right now, if you're a student, please encourage others to watch out for our next meeting in September, and for the registration forms and things like that to sign up. And if you're a parent online, if you'll tell your student to encourage others, because we need a pretty good sized group in order to keep the cost at what Julie showed us in the PowerPoint. We are excited and welcome your questions. We may not have the answers to them, but Ms. Jones may be able to give you some insight if you have questions tonight. And if not, certainly we'll write them down and try to get those answers to you as quickly as possible. So if anyone has any questions, if you want to unmute yourself, we'd be happy to try to help you.
Generally 4. There's 2 queen size beds, and we put 4 to room. And also, could Amy or Ryan drop the email in the chat for contacting about ThesCon Point?
Yeah, let me make sure I have the email right.
That would be great.
Amy's getting ready to do it.
All right. And like Julie was saying, a lot of times the conference does include food. But a lot of times the students like to go to the restaurants in Columbus. So of course, that's up to you and your family, how you want to handle that. But if you want them to go to the restaurants in Columbus, you'll have to send extra money for that.
We do always have one adult at least in the dining room for all the meals. So the kids that want to eat in the dining room have somebody to eat with. I will say that if you like, my child can't eat gluten, and there was not a lot for her to eat in the dining hall.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
So if your student is looking to get your thespian points worked out, just send a message to that email and Amy and Ryan will be happy to help you.
If you're afraid about your kid missing math while they're on this field trip, they'll have me with them. So
Well, and technically I do teach English, but I don't know if I want to promise any tutorial services for that weekend. All right, any other questions?
all right.
Beautiful. Deborah has volunteered to spearhead some fundraising for people who are interested in that. We would like to get an adult to partner with Deborah as she's working on that project. So if that's something you're interested in, we can connect you with Deborah and we'll also, keep that conversation going. But I just wanted to put a little bug out there.
And if you are, if you are a freshman or sophomore parent, or students, if you think that your parent would be willing to go with us, we are looking for that one additional chaperone. It really is. We really are a fun group. We stay organized as much as we can, but we really want the kids to be able to explore and have a good time. But with us there to guide them. But it would be wonderful if a freshman or sophomore parent wanted to join us, because then they could help then facilitate the following year and then pass that on to freshman or sophomore parent behind them. So there is the Gmail is on the popetheater.org website. And so the Booster Club email is there. If you have interest in chaperoning, or of course you could contact Ms. Jones directly if you have some interest in that. And we'd love to have you. That's all I got.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. Really appreciate it. Please do, you may think of more questions, or we will again advertise and on Facebook and IG, and try to email people to let them know when the next meeting will be. We don't have it set yet, but it will be in September before any of the dues need to be collected or registration needs to be done. So don't worry about that yet. We're going to try to find a way for you all to be able to pay by credit card online, as well as if you just want to do a check for the first installment. But we will be in touch, and we really appreciate your time. And feel free, like I said, to email us or reach out to students or teachers, and we'd be happy to get you connected and answer your questions. So thanks all for your time, and hope to see you very, very soon at One Act and Haunted Theater, which they're working very hard on. Their sets are coming together and the kids are working hard, mostly, right? All right. Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a good night.
Thank
you.